Peace, y'all. It's your man Dave with my brother Quest, the man bringing you all things marriage, paying you huge dividends on your investment in time with us. We're talking about love, sex, having children, money, spirituality, life, communication, and anything else to help you thrive and win in your relationships. And guess what? This is grown folks' business. So get ready to make grown-up decisions. You know why? Because marriage ain't for suckers. That's the name of the program. Marriage ain't for suckers. All right, let's get into it. Hey, yo, Quest, it's time to give the people something, man. What we talking about today?
What up? It's your boy Quest. Welcome to, I gotta say this, your host with the most, man. Welcome to another edition of the Marriage Ain't for Suckers podcast alongside my co-host with the most. My man, my man, L. David Harris.
Get on the mic.
And MC.
Hey, yo, Quest.
Yeah, thank you. Yup.
Class is in session, man.
It's in session.
Again. We here, man.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we here, man. And I just want to say, man, what a lovely privilege and honor it is, man, for me to be able to do what I do with you every week. I just want you to publicly know that I appreciate and love you.
Word,
you know what
man.
I'm saying?
Thanks,
and for us to get together and do this thing that we love to talk about, man, called marriage.
Yeah, man.
I know it looks a little bit different, you know, for those who might be viewing on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? Because I am out here with these dudes. It's my little man back there, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? The other one who's asleep, and I'm so happy for it. And,
yeah.
I'm talking about that brother was in here tearing the panel, the headlining off the roof a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so
co-signing.
So yeah, man, co-signing. But you know what I'm saying, celebrating the wife's birthday today, D.
Word up.
We on the way to Jersey to just see some family.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Some other people. Oh yeah, no doubt. I will tell her. I will definitely tell her. But yeah, man, just on a little family road trip, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. So just enjoying it, man.
Good stuff, man.
Enjoying the little family time together. Yes, sir.
What's
good on your end?
Huh?
What's good on your end?
Yeah, man. I'm just, I got a lot going on, but I'm about to do a Bible series that will be downlinked into a lot of different sites, like a lot of different locations, and also be streamed on the web. So, I had to do some video promo stuff today. That's why I'm not wearing my T-shirt like I always do. I figured I had to put the joint on. I might as well keep it on. But yeah, we got the run up to February 18 for Net 2018. Hashtag Net 2018. Links for Christ 2018. So that's where it is, man. I'm keeping my focus on that because we got 3 weeks of heavy hitting for that every night, every day except Friday. So.
Well, yes, indeed. Well, Godspeed on it.
Thanks, bro.
Yep. Well, let me just jump into it, man, and give shots out.
Yes.
To Breathe University. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
Yeah.
I got some dates coming up for y'all. Miami, we got a new conference series this year. It's called Take Control. It's an entrepreneurship series. Of course, when E gets in front of any crowd, it's like napalm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Miami is the first date, I believe, and then Atlanta, and then Charlotte. There are a couple of dates on there, but I will have some specific dates for you. When we get on the podcast next week.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do that right now and wrap up in a tree. So
yeah, thanks for that. I appreciate it. Like certain things, just not for doing it. You can't do that.
Yeah, for real. So I'll make sure we get those dates in next week. But if you want information immediately, do me a favor. Go to www.breatheuniversity.com /events, and you can get all the information there, man. Yep.
Word.
Yep.
Good stuff, man. Well,
yes,
that's good to hear. So I guess I could get my part going.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
All right. So here we go. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get your free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/marriage. With more than 180,000 titles from which to choose for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. And today we are recommending a book by Matthew Kelly. The title, The 7 Levels of Intimacy, The Art of Loving and the Joy of Being Loved.
Oh, man.
You like that,
man.
Quest?
I love that.
Yeah.
Just read the title for me one more time.
Yeah,
I love that.
The 7 Levels of Intimacy, The Art of Loving and the Joy of Being Loved by Matthew Kelly. Good book, bro. Good stuff.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Yeah, man. So
yes, indeed.
That's where it is, man. So, of course, y'all don't have to get that one, but that's the one we're recommending. So, that's where it is. Yeah, man.
Doubt.
So y'all can look at Quest for a second. I'm going to pause the video on my end and see if we can do anything about this. But otherwise, let's get underway, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. What we talking about today, T?
We're talking about marriage, what it is and what it ain't.
And what it ain't.
What it ain't, man.
And what it ain't.
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't. Is you ain't my baby. Yeah.
You dating yourself now. That's
I know.
That's the Tom and Jerry jump
I know.
on.
Can you imagine, Quest?
Come on, man.
What am I doing to myself?
Those are classics. They don't even exist anymore.
What am I doing to myself here?
Oh man. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You send the message and I play the receiver on this one, man.
Well, listen, man. I actually, I was reading on the internet, and it's sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not. But I was reading a Huffington Post article, and the title it's a blog article from 2014.
Yeah.
You're actually gonna like you're gonna like a lot of them, but you're gonna really like one of them in particular. And the title of this blog article or post is, and it's by Dr. Margaret Rutherford. She was married for 24 years at the time. I hope she's still married. Please be married still. But the title, 12 Things Marriage Is and 12 Things It Isn't. Right? Guess what the first one that it isn't. 12
I'm dying to hear.
Of the 12 things that marriage is not.
Yeah, I'm dying to hear.
All right. Number 1, marriage is not for sissies. It's hard work.
Ain't that crazy?
Ain't that something,
for
man?
suckers. Even Huffington Post is saying marriage ain't for suckers.
Can you imagine? She said it ain't for sissies, man. So I get it. Like obviously we get it, don't we, Quest?
Yeah, no doubt we do.
Yeah. So that's that. And number 2, what it isn't or is not, marriage is not about getting what you want all the time.
Yeah.
It's not a dictatorship, Quest.
Oh, come on.
It's not wanting to win all the time because that would mean the other person would lose all the time.
Oh, come on.
Maybe okay for you, not good for the marriage.
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll read 1 or 2 more of the knots.
Yeah.
All right. Marriage is not unfashionable.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
It stays vital.
Yeah. Vital.
Yeah,
Vital.
even Brangelina must think so. Now, I guess 2014, that had a different context. Yeah, I told y'all this was from 2014. So,
no doubt.
whatever.
No
That's,
doubt.
That's what that is.
Yep.
But, yeah. So what is marriage not like? What is marriage not, Quest? What ain't it?
Yeah.
I need to know. I need to know from you.
It's not selfish.
Okay.
Matter of fact, marriage is nothing self.
Nothing self.
Unless when the only self it is when you self-assessing.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're done. Catch you next week on Marriage Ain't for Suckers. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It ain't nothing self except self-assess. Okay.
Yep. I'm learning that it is not shallow. It's very deep.
Okay.
I'm learning that it's not even about the couple themselves. It's about what God wants to do through the couple in the institution of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll dive into that a little bit later.
Okay. All right. Well, let's look at some of the things that Dr. Rutherford thinks marriage is.
Yeah, shouts out to Dr. Rutherford. She's hitting it on the nail.
So far, so good, right? All right.
Yeah,
so
far she's hitting it the nail on the
head. Yeah. Let's try number 8 of her. What it is. No, sorry. Look at that, man. I need to keep scrolling, bro. What? Yeah. Wait. What happened? Marriage is not. Oh, look at that.
What'd she say?
It's backward. Like, I don't know where the rest of them went. They just disappeared. Marriage is, there it is. Marriage is about vulnerability, Quest.
Oh, wow.
Vulnerability. Oh, wow. Now, I just want to jump in there because the Bible says that Adam and Eve were naked and not ashamed. Wow. This is before they sinned.
Oh, wow.
So they were vulnerable and didn't have any problems. And like we said, like one of the first programs that we did together, we talked about how basically Adam and Eve started selling each other down the river.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? When they did wrong and God came to see what was going on, you know, they started selling each other. The woman that you gave me, that's what's wrong. And then she goes, no, the devil made me do it. The devil made me do it. You know, like that's man. It didn't work for Manson. Like what? Yeah. So big deal. So it's vulnerable, giving someone the right to hurt or disappoint you. And I talk to couples about this a lot, and even people who are not even considering those kind of relationships. I'm like, dude, you can't have a good relationship of any type while you're shielding yourself.
Yeah, no.
You just can't. It have to be vulnerable, or else the relationship cannot be a success. It can't be a success. It can be an image of success, but when you get to brass tacks, you got to be vulnerable. Yep. So it is what it is.
It was created to be the most intimate relationship on the face of the earth.
Aha. All right. Well, here's one you're gonna love. I already know you will. Number 12, she says, marriage is a promise, a vow. To try the hardest you have ever tried in your life. Marriage is a place for the achievement of a personal integrity. Do you like that? Like no other. I
love that.
So you made a vow, you made a promise. Now your integrity is at stake. Besides everything else. I mean, there's so much more.
Oh man. Okay, now you're touching some stuff now, D. Because I know a number of couples who are in the shaky places, if you will, the rough patches, the rough ground of marriage, if you will.
Yeah.
And you just said that Dr. Rutherford said that it was a promise. And then she took it a step further and said it was a vow. Now, if you know what we know about marriage is that it's divine. And the reason why we say it's divine is because it was created by God. Let's just keep it 100.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, what the word declares in terms of a vow, it's something that you don't want to break.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he takes no pleasure in fools. You know what I'm saying? And, right. So that's number one. When we took the vow, we got before whoever conducted the ceremony. We said, I, David, I, Quest, take you, Faith, David, you took, you know what I'm saying, Simone.
Yeah.
As my lawfully wedded wife.
Yeah.
To have and to hold.
Yes.
For better or for worse.
Oh, yes.
In sickness and in health.
Yes.
And for richer or for poorer.
Until when?
And as it relates until death do us part.
Yes.
And now what worse is, realizing what poorer is, and now you want to jump ship. But you can't do that because you took the vow. And what marriage ain't is something you hop in and out of like in the river on the bank. You don't do that.
No.
But I realize, David, what our problem is. Our problem is we want instant gratification. Mm-hmm. And what I've understood is that we want all of the wonderful things that come attached to marriage, but we don't want to go through nothing to get with it.
I
I was explaining it to.
Pause for a second.
I guess.
Pause for a second.
Yeah.
Your audio was a little weird, so let's see if the web will catch up.
Okay.
All right. Sounds like you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was explaining to a couple of the brothers this week. You know how you use an app on your phone? You've been using the app for a while. You love the app. Like, man, there's nothing else like it.
Yeah.
And then they do a major upgrade. And when they do the major upgrade, they send you something called terms and conditions as it relates to the new upgrade.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they say, if you've read these terms and check the box and click I agree.
Yeah.
And what do most of us do? We scroll all the way to the bottom of the terms and conditions. We check the box and hit I agree. Why? Because we just want to get back to using the app. We don't know what we saying I agree to.
No.
We don't know if we're giving them control to our contacts. We don't know if we're giving them control over the camera on our phone. We don't. We just want to get back to it. And that's what we do in marriage.
Yeah.
Right? We look. Oh, all the surface stuff is good. We've been in relationship. The relationship has been good. We haven't really gotten down to the nitty gritty of stuff, but because we want to continue in the phase that we are in, we go before the pastor. Yep, I do. Sign the dotted line. You don't know the fullness of what richer or poorer is. You don't know the fullness of what in sickness or in health is, but you say, yep, I accept. I'm going to sign on the dotted line. Boom, we're married. And then it happens.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, bro. Like when we're talking about people who do it advisedly now, and we're doing it recognizing that we need some power from outside ourselves.
Oh, come on.
Then even though, I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say even though, even for those who have had multiple marriages, even though we don't know what that terms of service really means or the terms and conditions really mean, we think we do, even if we read them all. We recognize, like the lady said, the doc said, like, it's about integrity. And it's like the homies used to say when we were young boys, the 5% Nation. Them dudes used to always say, word is bond. My word is my bond.
And back then that meant something.
Dog, you listen, man. I'm still that guy, man. Like, don't promise me nothing, bro. Like, don't promise me, because I'm one of them dudes that fall hard. Like, I crash and burn when people break their promises, bro. And call it a character flaw for me. I believe you when you tell me something.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So
yep.
For me, like, don't make the vow. And if we're talking about marriage, bro, not only did you make the vow with you and the woman that you love or claim to love, or if you're in an arranged marriage type of culture that you have vowed in terms of, your upbringing, this is who I'm going to marry, but you've made the vow to the family. You've made a vow to the public because you've told everybody you're off the market. You've made a vow to the civil community.
Yep.
Think about it, Quest. There are countries far, far from here. I'm going to just say far, far from here. But there are people who get married. Like, I know people. Well, I've listen, man, like, people get married for all kinds of reasons. If you want to live in New Zealand, go marry a New Zealander. And front like you're married for so long so that you can be a New Zealander resident. You understand what I'm saying to you, bro?
Yep, no doubt.
Yeah. And so, whether we understand the thing, yes or no, you understand your personal integrity, don't you?
Indeed.
Yeah. And so when the rubber does meet the road, and it does for every marriage, it hits the road. For me, I've been married for 16 years, bro, more than 16 years. The rubber meets the road, man. And when it meets the road, it's like, am I going to be a liar and break the vow that I've made with my lovely wife, Simone?
Oh, come on.
Or
your integrity and your character's on the line, B.
Yeah.
And here's the funny thing, D. That principle is not only resident from a spiritual place.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Or from a spiritual perspective. Remember where we came from? Like if you said you was gonna do something and didn't do it, I mean, like for real, we had hip hop songs back in the day. Beat biter, don't stop, taker, tell you to your face, you ain't nothing but a faker. You remember?
Yeah.
Remember those joints?
You hear me hit the beat.
You were considered a jack faker. You was faking
moves.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, come on, faking moves.
Yeah.
So that was something even in the hood that was frowned upon. You know what I'm saying?
Son, there was physical justice. There was physical justice for that kind of stuff. I'm just saying.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
But anyway, that's a whole different program.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just don't break that. You just don't break it.
That's a principle that stands across the board.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's cloth talk or whether it's street talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that is a principle that is upheld, you know.
True indeed.
And I would say that the spiritual repercussions are more severe than any, you know what I'm saying? That, like, for real, in certain places, I know you can lose your life, but I would rather lose my life, you know what I'm saying, in good standing from a spiritual standpoint than lose my life, you know what I'm saying, on the other side of the fence.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm saying all of that to say is that you cannot make this vow in marriage.
Yeah.
Break it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then just expect for everything to be all right.
Yeah. Let me get on one more on here because I think you're gonna like this one. This one, another thing that marriage is, according to Dr. Rutherford, and I totally agree, is, and she's speaking from her perspective, so you'll get the voice here. Marriage is wishing you were the one having the operation or the illness, not him. That's from her perspective.
Wow. Oh, wow.
You know how many times I have said, I wish I could take that pain away from you, Simone?
Oh, wow.
I wish I could take it away literally from you, absorb it, bro. Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Now that has a couple of people looking at marriage a little bit differently.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you signing up for, because you know what I'm saying? On the surface, it looks good. But if I really have to practice that, I don't know if I'm ready for this marriage thing. And I you know, I've said it before, David, and it sounds kind of harsh sometimes. But if that is not the mindset that you are willing to have, if you are not willing to be cut, if you're not willing to be shaped, formed,
right,
you know what I'm saying, chiseled, then you might not want to get married. Marriage is definitely not for you then.
And let me interject right here, Quest, because sometimes, and I agree 100% with you, so I'm not going to negate any of that. The issue is that people will hear something like this because you're a big grown man. Like I walked through, I was going into the place where we were about to have the, you know, the shoot and all of that, right, today, right? Yeah. And I walked through, right? And one of the women, you know, a big woman, a grown woman, right? Yeah. She goes, you have a baby face, but you got gray in your beard. So we've been around for a little while, Quest.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right?
No doubt.
And I've been married for a very long time in my little mind, right? But sometimes people hear stuff like that and think that because they heard Quest say that, they need to be ready for that today. But the point is, you know, on day one of your marriage, you're not going to be in the same position as where I am or I'm supposed to be. We are, but I'm where I am at year 16 plus.
Yeah.
Because day one has its own challenges. And so the point is, am I willing to grow steadily on that continuum that Quest set up that says, for whatever the trial happens to be or the triumph, day one to day 3,821.
Absolutely.
Am I willing to be grown into that position? Because again, like there's stuff you can, you know, I don't think I want my leg cut off. Well, if you're not getting your leg cut off right now, then don't talk. I mean, it doesn't, that's irrelevant. You don't cut your leg off grace until your leg is getting cut off. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, what you're speaking to is one of the purposes of marriage, right? One is to become whole or holy, if you will, set apart, right? The other part of it is to become intimate. Yeah. Intimacy don't happen overnight.
Nah, can't.
Right?
Can't.
Like I'm still learning who you are and who you're not. And that takes a while. You just don't do that in a year or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? That happens over a series of time. You know what I'm saying? So what I am saying, though, is that as you're learning, as you're growing, as you're finding out who the both of you are and who you're not, individually and collectively. What I am saying is that you need to be committed to that process.
Yes.
You need, E said something this morning when we were on the line, and E said, I don't scoreboard watch.
Oh.
And I was like,
right.
I was like, whoa.
Stay focused, homie. Hold up for a second.
I don't scoreboard watch.
Okay, go ahead.
He was saying I totally and completely submit myself to the process, because if I look up to see where we are in terms of time and the score, I may get like, we're supposed to be at this place by this time, and that your process, D, for your marriage may not necessarily be the same process for what God has for me in my marriage. So all I need to do is, number one, trust and obey. That's number one. And number two, be completely committed to the process. Yep.
Think about it. And a lot of people may not be down with my analogy here, but when I first saw Usain Bolt, big up to Usain Bolt, fastest dude on the planet. Not saying he's never been beat, but I'm just saying, pound for pound, fastest dude on the planet, at least for now, right? When he first waxed everybody, that first time when he struck that pose that's now his logo, right? Mm-hmm. Do you realize? I don't know if you noticed it, Quest. When the dude passed the 100-meter line, some was slowing down, beating his chest. Think of the numbers. Sir. Think of the numbers he could have put up. I'm not criticizing the dude. I'm just observing something that I can use for my life. Think of the number he could have put up on the board.
Yep, if he'd have kept full steam right through the finish line.
If he was blazing through the finish line, not beating his chest, because he was excited. I get it. Like, no diss to him. I'm just talking about me now. I'm trying to understand how to apply that to me. So if he was going full steam ahead and waited till he blasted that finish line, that first record that he put up would have been hard for him to beat, much less anybody else.
That's right.
At the Olympics. We're not talking about other stuff, because homie he don't ever really put it in unless he at the Olympics. Maybe there's a lesson in that. We need to put it in all the time, but that's a whole nother thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with it, man. Like, it's full steam ahead. It's all the time, man. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I get up at 3:00 every morning. That's 7 days a week, Quest.
Yep.
And my purpose for getting up at that time is to connect with God. Like, I can't be ready for my family when they get up at five, whatever they get up time, and then on the weekends later than that, I can't be ready for them unless I get my 3 a.m. MB. I just can't.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So now you go in there. What do you think is the reason why we are so misconstrued as to what marriage is and what it isn't?
No, some of us are having little time investment in one. I want to call it self-development, but it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
And getting connected, for those of us who recognize that we have a king in heaven who runs the whole universe, getting connected to him so that we can be of the most value. I'm not saying that those who don't get it ain't, because that's not true, but of the most value. We got less than 2 minutes. Go.
Oh man, I don't know if I can get it done, but I do know that I've come to a realization this week. Yeah. And for some people, it might be a bang to the cranium, because it was definitely a bang to my cranium. And what I found out, is that God the Son was the one who created Adam and Eve from the dust of the ground and breathed into them the breath of life. And that for me, because I always thought it was God the Father.
So you're saying Jesus did it, right?
Jesus did it.
Jesus did it. Okay.
So if he did that, created them from the dust of the ground, and let me breeze through this real quick, breathed into them the breath of life.
20 seconds.
And then after that, they fell. He died on the cross for them, beat death, went back to heaven, is still now interceding on our behalf. It has a whole new meaning to husbands love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave his life for it. And
that's right.
I'm just going. You can finish it out, but and we can probably touch it again next week. But I'll leave it right there.
Yeah, the one who did the work has a vested interest in the work. Yeah.
Oh man,
put that work in. Get like Jesus, and you're good, fellas. Love like.
Stay focused. There you have it, y'all. I hope you've enjoyed your time with us. Marriage is about mutual love and mutual respect. And it works for those willing to make it work. Real talk, our spouses are treasured jewels given to us to make life better. And the sooner we learn to value one another will be the sooner we become the absolute best versions of ourselves we can be. Until next time, peace.